This video chart presentation of Fresh Start Private Management Inc. It's a fully reporting company trading under ticker CEYY. You can see Fresh Start gapped up on Monday, went up to around 4.5 cents, pulled back some in intraday trading, but before the day closed, drew back up to close at 4.22 cents for gains of about 32%. It was on a pretty low volume day, about 15,000 shares traded. A little bit less than normal, even though the stock is generally somewhat thinly traded. But that move up yesterday was enough to say pay attention to me, see if the price is going to try and continue to move off this base at 2.5 cents, and go up here and challenge some initial resistance around a nickel, as well as potentially these old highs at 6 cents. I see a nice little uptrend in the MACD, making slightly higher lows, but probably more importantly what I notice is a recent bullish cross this month. So now what I'll look for is this MACD to break through and hold above zero, and try and make a new high to create an upward channel, which shows a strengthening trend for the chart. You can see going back further on in the year, the MACD hasn't been able to get much of an upward trend going, so it's at a kind of critical point right now to strengthen the idea that it's going to try and move off this 2.5 cent base and potentially make some new highs. Now when stocks are a little bit thinly traded like this, the slow still actually moves a little bit faster than normal, and you can see pretty sharp move upward, breaking through 50. And now what we'll look for at this point is we just want to see this slow still hold over top of 50 to show sustained momentum in the play. Because you can see back through here when it made the break, and then it came back down. The momentum came out of the play, and the stock settled right back down on that base. So we're going to look for the slow still to hold over top of 50 to indicate more momentum in the chart. Money flow index just kind of hanging right around 50. You can see it's registering a 47 right now. That tells me with some volume factored in there, stock is kind of trading right around its average price over 14 periods. Ideally, want to see it over top of 50 again, and holding that point to show that there's a lot more buying going on at higher prices. It's a pretty nice look to the RSI, putting together a little climb in October, actually at multi-month highs. And again, we'll want to see that holding over top of that benchmark 50 point, show sustained momentum in the play. And ideally try and break through 70. That's the point momentum traders consider being in the power zone, which indicates very strong momentum in the chart. Now from a support and resistance standpoint, you can see going back early on in this year, the stock was actually down around a penny, penny and a half. When it made this move up to these highs, then it retraced, settled back down. It found a strong support at 2.5. And that would be an absolute bottom support we'd want to see hold. But given the stock closed over top of 4 cents, that's pretty far for a stop loss. We'll look more through this area at 3.5 cents as a level of support. Because even if stock pulls back, perhaps even fills this small gap to around 3.2 cents, we want to start to see it hold higher levels, continue to develop a pattern in forming higher bases. So we'll look for 3.5 cents as a support point that we want to see hold going forward. You see the stock now has moved back above the 50-day moving average. It's not drawn in here, but the 200-day moving average is actually cutting through here as well. Stock price is above that, which actually reinforces the idea of wanting to hold this 3.5 cent mark to continue the upward path of the 200-day and to get this 50-day curling upward and lend some dynamic support to the chart to try and develop an upward channel. Now from a resistance standpoint, I think there's going to be some right there at 4.5 cents. You can see back earlier on that served as a little bit of resistance, but I'm going to be looking at this point at 5 cents, simply because in September it hit that point and pulled back. You can see through here it was definitely a little area of resistance, and a move through that, and I do believe it'll come back up here and challenge those old highs at 6 cents. So with the shifting trend and shifting momentum, we'll be looking for an uptick in volume, certainly up into the hundreds of thousands of shares, to continue to strengthen the volume and trend shifts, push them into strong bullish positions, so the candles will be gathering a little bit of steam to try and roll through these resistance points. It's an interesting chart. Certainly at these price points, you can see gains and losses can come pretty quickly, so it's important to pay attention to the support and resistance points. But it looks like it's overall going through a shift to bullishness, so it's one worth keeping an eye on going forward to see how it performs. As always, it's merely my interpretation of the Fresh Start Private Management chart. I'm not a financial consultant and strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpennystocks.com website to view the full disclaimer disclosure. And do not base any investment decisions on any material found on the website and/or this video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks, registered investment advisor, or licensed broker dealer. Thank you for watching. Trade smart.